Excited today. Hi there and welcome to the MadebyJo Crafty podcast. My name is Jo. I'm a knitter, sewer and crocheter based in Fife in Scotland, and this is episode 14. Today you're joining me on a cold, overcast day. I have a cauldron mug with me because I'm feeling all things autumnal, and we're actually doing a little cozy corner in my living room today because I have the house to myself, which never happens. I've got my candle on, not that you can probably see it, but it smells gorgeous. My dog is staring at me behind the camera, and I am surrounded by a mountain of WIPs and finished objects to show you, so I am very much looking forward to today's episode. Right. So I'll start as usual with what I am wearing. This is my Sana cardigan by Rebecca Clow. It is a lacework cardigan which I knit earlier this year. I have no idea when I finished it, 2 episodes ago? Last episode? I can't remember. But it is knit in Drops Cotton Merino in the red colour that I got in a yarn swap. And I tested this pattern for Rebecca. I really love it. I haven't actually worn it that much this summer, which is a shame because it's been a bit warm, and now it's gone from glorious sunshine and very warm to freezing cold. So I decided to wear it today to make sure it got its time on the podcast, but I think it'll have to go away in the hope that next summer is a bit more mild, or to be able to wear it in June. But I wanted to wear it today because I think it's super cute and I wanted to give it its time. I keep hiccuping now. I have these little red plastic buttons on it that my friend Ailey got me from a shop in Edinburgh. Nothing too fancy, just sort of plain basic buttons. I think they cost £2 for 6 of them or something. But I think they go really well with the fabric of this cardigan. And I really like it, so I'm glad I get to wear it today. I literally just said to myself, don't mess with your hair a million times in this video, and immediately I've started messing with my hair, so that's annoying. Today we have 4 finished objects, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 WIPs, and a little bit of acquisitions to show you. I mentioned in the last episode I had real bad cast-on-itis, and I was kind of hoping that my daft days had curbed that. It had not, so I have cast on 2 new things since then, but yeah, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. The first thing that I have finished is my August socks. I mention this every single time, but I am knitting a pair of socks every month this year, and I had my August socks to do. It is sort of mid to the end of August? Yeah, mid to the end of August at the moment, so I've definitely got them done in plenty of time. But this was my first time ever using hedgehog fibres, so I knit this in hedgehog fibres twist sock, which is 80% blue face Leicester and 20% nylon, and I did this in the colour Firefly. Don't know why I'm showing you the label. And these are my finished socks. So I finished this yesterday, which is why it still has all of the stitch markers on it, but I finished this one a while ago. So I have a beautiful pair of finished socks. I really like these. I think they're a really unique colourway. I did get some pulling at the heel, which I decided I didn't really care about. I did actually adjust this. You can see it more on this side. I did actually break the yarn and restart it on both my socks, but it didn't really make much of a difference. I still did get some pulling, but I decided for the first time in ages, I didn't want to do any contrast colours. I just wanted to knit the way the yarn wanted to work. And I did that almost to perfection, but I did adjust a little bit at the gusset so that it wasn't like a massive block of navy blue. Like I said, these are basic vanilla socks. I think I did 64 stitch, I cast on 64 stitches. I did 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing. I then did a 50 row leg this time, and just a heel flap and gusset, and I did a slip stitch heel. And then when I decreased, I actually decreased to 60 stitches rather than the 64 because I have quite thin, narrow feet, so I wanted to give that a go. So I decreased to 60 stitches on the foot, and then I just did a regular little toe. And that's obviously the same for both socks. So that is my August socks. The BFL is it's definitely not merino, you can tell that, but I quite like it. It feels like it's going to be a hard wearing sock. When I purchased this, I made sure to purchase the twist sock because I got a note from a friend that the Hedgehog Fibers like sock yarn, the one that's just called sock, doesn't wear very well. I think it's quite loosely plied, and that means it splits quite a lot, and it didn't wear very well. So they advised me to get the twist sock, and I'm glad I gave it a go. And I definitely could see myself using BFL in the future. I have one other skein from Hedgehog Fibers, and then I've got one other skein from a company called Needle and Thread, that's BFL, and actually I was thinking that might be my September socks. I was thinking about it the other day, but I quite enjoy this. The way this feels, it's quite tactile, and it feels really nice on the foot too from when I've tried it on. I also made the foot on these slightly shorter than I usually do because I've found that as I wear my socks they tend to stretch over time. So I've decided to make these feet slightly shorter in the hope that as they stretch they'll continue to fit well. And as you can probably tell, I've not blocked these yet. I was having a think about blocking, and what I've noticed is that when I block my socks on my sock blockers, the ribbing stretches out obviously because the sock blocker is the same width all the way down the leg, and so the ribbing gets pulled out like this, which is fine, but then it doesn't always sort of snap back, and then my ribbing's quite loose on my socks and I don't like that. So what I'm going to try and do from now on is, and I should have brought my sock blockers down but I haven't, I'll show you them on my sock blockers, but I don't think I'm going to be blocking my socks on them anymore, and I'll see how I get on and if that helps, or if it's just a case that the ribbing is just loosening up over time, in which case I'll keep using my sock blockers. But these are my August socks. I actually also should have said when I talked about what I was wearing that I'm wearing a pair of socks just now. Ta-da! These were my May socks made in hand-dyed yarn that I dyed myself. And there you go. The most awkward way to show you the socks, but I am also wearing those, FYI. Right. Oh, I've done it again. Stop messing with your hair, Joe. Okay, August socks, done. Next WIP is
I say WIP about 5 times here, but I mean finished object. This is still the finished object section.
And it was a test knit. Now, I had castanitis. I have seen quite a few tests come passing my door and I was hooked in. So this test was for Jamie Lomax of Pacific Knit Co. And Pacific Knit Co are responsible for the Doodle decks that you might have heard of. They're little cards, little packs of cards that have a bunch of different colourwork charts on, and then you use them to sort of mix and match and make whatever pattern you like. I was introduced to these by Cookston Crafts, Claire of Cookston Crafts, because she sells them in the UK, and I bought a lot of the online patterns as part of a sale, and I have never knit with any of them yet. I have a vision of a winter cowl that I think I might cast on, but anyway, I saw on Jamie's Instagram story that she was advertising a dinosaur test knit, and I have 2 young nephews and they're obsessed with dinosaurs, and I don't know if it's because I have made them obsessed with dinosaurs because I've been like, I love dinosaurs, so I gift them like dinosaur stuffed toys and stuff, but I put myself forward for the test because I thought I could make my nephew a hat and then it wouldn't take very long. I could test the pattern and then get the pattern at the end to potentially add a little sneaky dinosaur into my cowl. So that's exactly what I did. And we got notified about the test last week, and I spent all day in one day knitting this beautiful little children's hat. Let me see, can you see it well? Yeah, I'll put my little hand in it. And this is my test knit for Jamie of Pacific Knit Co. So this hat is the basic Doodle hat pattern, which is also Jamie's, and I just chose the appropriate size yarn I was using and the pattern. Obviously I chose these colourwork charts. So the bottom one I'm not particularly happy with my yarn choice, but anyway, it's little dinosaur tracks, And then we have a Triceratops and a Stegosaurus, and then the dinosaur tracks again at the top. This is just the child size, so I'm kind of hoping that my nephews will share it, but they're not really in a sharing zone at the moment, so if not, it'll go to my youngest nephew most likely. And I just thought it was super cute. I think because I used speckled yarn, it's not as obvious. Like, obviously I think the top colour work chart is much more obvious than the lower down ones, but I don't really mind because I think the dinosaurs are super cute, and I didn't want to buy any yarn for this, so I just used scraps that I had. And I think I'll definitely make some more stuff for the boys out of this doodle chart. The yarn that I used is Drops Merino Extra Fine, because I had some of that, and that's this sea greeny colour. These two colours are also that. Actually, the background colours all the way through are Drops Merino Extra Fine, and that's because I had loads of it left when I made my mum's sheep jumper, which I've shown in previous episodes. And then these were just scraps that I had from leftover sock projects. So it really is a scrappy project, and like I said, it took me one day to knit this whole thing. So I'm hopeful that my nephew will love it, and I'm going to give it to him this week at some point. Or maybe I'll get my mum to take it to him. I don't know. I'm going to give it to them at some point, and I'll take a little picture of him in it, but it probably won't be before this video goes up, so it might be on my Instagram. Nice segue. My Instagram is designs.madebyjo. I do post on there regularly. I post on my stories more than I post on my actual feed, and I think it's because I have this worry that my photos aren't good enough to go on my feed, which I know is ridiculous. Like, just take a photo and put it up, nobody really cares, but I don't know whether my backgrounds are nice enough, and I'm not very good at taking photos of my finished objects, so I never do. But I regularly post on my story, so if you want to see that photo of my nephew, it'll probably be on my story on Instagram, and you're welcome to follow me over there. Okay, so there are my two knitting finished objects. The next two that I have are sewing finished objects, and I'll start with the one that I mentioned last time. I mentioned I had been working on an outfit, but I hadn't finished it, so I wasn't going to show you until I finished the whole thing. And that is this. So I'll just show you the trousers just now, because that's all I've got with me. These are a pair of trousers. These are made in 100% linen, which I got from Rainbow Fabrics, and they're in this sort of brick red colourway, and I have worn these so much since I made them. This is the Sagaro set pattern. It's the trousers from the Sagaro set. I've spoken about it a load of times, but this time the only modification I made is I did a really big hem on my trousers. And that's because I noticed that when I was sewing my trousers previously, that where I was overlocking the edges, like they were maybe sticking out the bottom, or it meant that the hem wasn't particularly neat. So by making this massive hem, it's like all enclosed right at the bottom of the trouser until you get down here, which I found just makes a really like professional finish. And also one of our neighbours who we've been talking to and are becoming friends with, she was talking to us one day, and she was wearing the most amazing linen trousers that were stripy. They were navy and stripy, and they had this big hem, and I thought, I really like that, I'm going to steal that. And it was actually that day that I cut out this pattern and cut out the big hems, so thank you to her. But this is the trousers, and then I don't actually have the top, it is upstairs, but I took a little video of myself, so I will insert that here and show you the full outfit. I think this outfit looks really like chic. It's for a holiday. We're going away on holiday later this year to Italy, and it's going to be like 25 degrees or something, and I think this will be a really cute outfit for going to the pool or in the evenings. The top is a little bit risky for me. It's got an open side and it's just held together by little straps, but I just thought it looked really classy and a little bit sexy for holiday, and I think it's alright because the trousers are like full length. It like evens out. I've not got a really short skirt and then got everything on display, which is totally fine if that's your vibe, but it's just not mine. So I think the two work really well together and look really classy. basically, long story short. And I bought quite a few different types of linen. I've got an orange linen and a bright blue linen that I've washed to make a shorts and shirt set for that holiday, but I wanted to start by making these trousers because I thought I could get wear out of them now, and I was wearing them yesterday, so I'm definitely getting use out of them, and I think the top will just complete the look when I'm out in Italy later this year. But that is my first sewn finished object, and my second sewn finished object is kind of knitting related as well, and I am so proud of it, and it is this. It is, right, I think I need to explain what this is, but I'm just going to show you it first, because it's adorable. It's got a little cork bottom and a drawstring top, and right, it's amazing, okay? So, picture this. I am out with Angus and we are walking Albie, and I've just taken a little handbag that fits my phone and some poo bags and all that stuff in it. But there's nowhere to take a project, but we're going to the beach, so I could sit and knit, but I can't fit my project in my bag. Aha! So instead, I clip this to my bag, like to the strap of my bag, and then this hangs off the side of your bag with your little sock project in it. So it's a drawstring top, so the drawstring pops up like that, so you've got plenty of space, and actually I've got a yarn cake in here for demonstrative purposes. So you keep the cake in there, and then you would put your little sock project right on top, and once your sock's in there you just pull the drawstring and it'll sit up a little bit, but for now when it's just a cake that just like pushes back down. And I'm obsessed with this. I made this myself. I made up the pattern, and I watched a YouTube video for a completely different bag just to see how the construction worked, and then I just made it in the sizes that I wanted it. So this is entirely self-drafted, completely made up, and I just used leftover fabric that I had. So the bottom here is a silver cork to try and give it a little bit of protection when it's on the floor. The outside piece is a gorgeous fabric that I'm so glad I got to like show off in this. It's a Harry Potter treats themed fabric, and it's jersey, like it's a jersey material, so it's really soft as well. And then I just used some pink polycotton that I had, and this ribbon came from a gift that someone gave me, so it's really upcycled. This little clip came from when I was making bags loads and I had loads left over, so all in all this was a great scrappy project, and I think I'll really use it. I've been trying to keep it nice for the podcast, so I haven't used it yet, but I do want to, and I will take it out on my handbag. I've got a new sock project, so I will be transferring that into here and then using that when we're walking around, or when I just want to take my little project somewhere. So I'm so obsessed with this. Every time I catch it out the corner of my eye, it's just so cute, and I want to pick it up, and I'm just so proud of it. I can't believe I made this, like, and made it up, didn't use a pattern or anything. So goodness knows if I'd be able to make a second one, but yeah, it's this little yarn cake holder for sock projects that you can put on the outside of your bag, and I love it. So I'm just so proud of it. I'm so glad I get to show it off. But this is it. So I'm gonna put it in front of me so it can make me smile throughout the rest of today's video. But that is my little pile of finished objects for today. Put them on the floor. And now we get to move on to WIPs. So like I said, there's 5, and I'm gonna start with ones that you have seen before. So we'll start with this one. It's in my little sheep bag. This bag is a lunchbox bag that I bought when I was on holiday, I think. And this houses my pom-pom shawl. So I showed you this last time. I've got my yarn in one of my little yarn holders, and then this is all that's left of the first skein that I started, so I've got them in there. But this is my pom-pom shawl by Laura Penrose. It's currently very difficult to show you. I'll show you half of it, because it's got needle stoppers on it because a lot of my projects are on the same size needle, which is just great. I am very close to being done this. I think I've got 5 increases or something to do, but it's on, like, there's just it's so massive now that each row takes significantly longer to do. So I haven't really been picking this up because all my other projects are at a bit more like, this is a lot of stockinette and I've been wanting colour work basically, so I haven't been knitting on this that much. I really can't show you it any other way than just like this. The yarn is by Wildflower Yarns and it's in the colour Celestial. It's their DK weight 100% superwash merino base, and as I mentioned before, the speckles are still coming off in my hands, but I'm hoping to block this before I add any other colours to get rid of any extra speckle dye that's still on there. I noticed in the last video that it was much more obvious on camera than it was in person where the line is between the two skeins, even though I am alternating skeins. You can kind of see it. I think it's about here, where it goes from that purple to introducing the pink. And yeah, in person I can't really see it, but I could see it when I watched that video back when I was editing. So if you can see it, just know I can't really see it in person. But as I showed you, this is all I've got of that first skein, so maybe like 1 or 2 more rows and then I'll be fully working in the pink. So I'm kind of hoping that it will just blend and not be super obvious, but you know, it's a shawl, doesn't really matter. But yeah, so we're getting there with this. Like I said, haven't really been working on it too much because other things, which you'll see, have been taking priority, but I'm hoping that as I move away from all of my projects needing the same needle size, that I'll be able to get back working on this, because once the needles are off and it's on stoppers, I don't know why, but that's such a mental block for me to pick it up again, because I'm like, oh, I've got to put the needles on, which is so lazy, but you know, each their own. So that's my Pim Pom shawl, which you have seen before. What else have you seen before? Now this is a project you haven't seen in a while, but I thought I'd show you it because it is still going on, and it was one of my Make 9s for this year. So this is living in my Woolly Good Gathering tote bag, which I got, funnily enough, at the Woolly Good Gathering last year. And inside of here is my rainbow jumper, which some of you might remember. So I am knitting this. I'm also carrying around 2 cones of yarn in there, which I definitely don't need to be. But I'm knitting this in Drops Air in the white colour and James C. Brett DK, I think is what it's called, in this rainbow colourway. And I'm holding 1 strand of each to make this. This glorious fuzzy, in you go please, rainbow jumper. Tell me this is not stunning. This is entirely inspired by Laura Penrose of Penrose Knits, or formerly Penrose Knits. I think I did that last time as well. I think she's just Laura Penrose now. She knit this jumper in these yarns for her daughter Penny, and as soon as I saw it I realised how much I loved it and knew I was making one for myself. I bought this yarn straight away, and then Laura herself was actually destashing what she had left of this, and I bought it from Laura. And it's been on the agenda for so long now and just not really making any progress, but I think last time you saw this I had just split for the sleeves, and now I'm all the way down here. Don't know if you can see that. All the way down here. So I am making slow but sure progress on this. Like I said, it was on my Make 9 for this year, so I do want to get it done. It's just trucking along. Again, actually I've been working on this when I have therapy usually, because it's really straightforward and it's just knitting in the round and I'm not near any complicated bits, so I can just pick it up. So really I've been knitting on that during therapy, but I just need to get on with it and I haven't. So this is my rainbow sweater, and I thought I'd show you it because it's been a little while since you've seen it and it's now starting to look like an actual jumper. The pattern I'm using for that, I actually don't think it's even worth mentioning, but I'm using a Drops pattern. If I can find it I will put it on the screen, but I just basically had a look at drops and saw which of their free patterns had a similar gauge and used it for the cast on numbers, and that's kind of it. Then I've just done the raglan until I thought it would fit me, and now I'm just working the body and I'm just going to work straight sleeves. So I've not really used a pattern for that, it's kind of just been self-drafted, but I did use a drops pattern to get the beginning numbers. I think that's on my Ravelry. My Ravelry is Jo Foster 218, so if you want to have a look, you can have a look there, and it'll be on the project page. I will also probably share the project page below in the description, so you can have a look there too if you wish. Right, we've got one more that you've seen before, and then we'll move on to ones that you haven't seen yet. And this one is my Daft Days cardigan. Last time you saw this, I told you all about how I frogged it, recast it on, and I had about this much, and I was so proud of myself. Well, we really powered on ahead, and I can show you today a Daft Days vest, which I am so unbelievably proud of. I can't quite believe I've got it to this stage since we spoke last. I think it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I honestly can't remember, but I have made a vest and it fits me this time. I tried this on and it fits me, it looks great, I know it's going to block well, and it's a vest. So yeah, last time we spoke I think I had about this much done of the body, and since then I have worked the entire back panel, and then obviously the front panels as well, and there's 2 of those. I also, unlike last time, have been weaving my ends in as I go, which I'm so proud of, so there's not going to be a big pile of ends to weave in. But what I need to do now is either pick up for the neckline and do the neckband, or pick up for the sleeves. And again, because I have a lot of other projects that are using the same needles, I hadn't picked up the sleeves. But I do want to do this. I want it for autumn. I am so proud of the progress I've made since last we spoke, that I know I'm going to get there. So this is my Daft Days. For those who haven't seen it before, I am knitting this in woolly knit. I got a ball band? I do. Oh, it's attached to things. Woolly knit, 100% super soft merino wool, 4-ply classic. It comes in 50-gram balls, and I bought a pack of 10 of them. It looks like this, and then that's in the colour Ecru. Yeah, I found the colour name. It's only on one of the balls that I bought, but it's called Ecru. And then the contrast colours that I am using are from the Nervous Fibres Sad Vent 2023. Not this year's Sad Vent, last year's Sad Vent. And they're beautiful, a beautifully muted rainbow, perfect for autumn, but still a little bit me because it's rainbowified. So yeah, honestly, from the moment I joined at the shoulders, I've wanted to film this video just to show you this, because I'm so proud of this. I'm so proud that I went back to it, solved the fit issues, re-knit the entire thing, and now I'm back in the same place that I was in March, but with a garment that fits me. And I think it's going to be an amazing autumn piece. This was also in my Make 9 for this year, and I'm going to get it done. I am determined. So yeah, maybe next time we will have picked up for a sleeve, maybe done a sleeve, who knows. But I am inspired. Every time I film a podcast, I get re-inspired by taking all my projects out and like looking at them again and wanting to knit on them. So hopefully this will be on its way next time we speak. But that is my Daft Days cardigan. And it's still sad. The poor thing is living in just a wool warehouse bag. Whereas like some of my other projects are in really nice bags, and this one's just in here because it was in the naughty corner. So I do feel a bit bad, but you know, keeps it safe from moths and that. Right, I'm going to show you a pair of socks, and then I'll show you something I'm really excited about. So I cast off those blue socks yesterday, and then realised that I was without a pair of socks, and I gifted my mum a skein of yarn for her holiday a couple weeks ago, and it was by Wildflower Yarn, and it was like in the skein half of it was light yellow, and the other half was like a neon rainbow. And my mum's knitting it up, and hers is 4-ply, and she's doing it in a ribbed sock, and it just looks amazing. It's like beautiful, bright, speckly, all over. Oh, it's phenomenal. And as soon as I saw her version, I was like, I've got one of those skeins. I want to knit that. So I cast it on. Mine is very different to my mum's. So she's knitting the 4-ply version, and I am knitting the DK weight version. So this is the yarn that I have. It is DK Sparkle, and it's in the colour Hollow Mint, I think. Holographic Mint, I think is what that stands for. But it's by Wildflower Yarn. And yeah, mine's the sparkly one, and it's super cute. But it's not doing what my mum's did, and that does make me a little bit sad. So, like I said, my mum's is a light yellow, and we think that the reason hers looks so speckly is because the background colour is so like similar to some of the speckles, and because my version is mint, it's very much a stripe of neon. So this is what, oh, that's upside down, Jo. This is what my sock is looking like. It's much more striped, much more spirally. Still super cute, don't get me wrong, but it's just not quite what I was looking for based off what my mum's was. I know this is because the stitch count is different, the yarn is different, so I know why. I'm not like upset about it because I do think this is a really cute sock, but I now know that if I want one exactly like my mum's, I'll have to use the 4-ply version that I've got and just see if the stitch count allows me to get that beautiful speckling. But this is my DK weight socks. I decided to cast on some DK socks because I've only got like a week or two until September, and I know I'll cast on my September socks on the 1st of September, so I wanted a quick pair that I can whip up before I cast on in September. So these are DK weight. I'm doing a 3x1 rib, which you can see there. I did a German twisted cast on the top, and I'm not doing a cuff here because it's ribbing. I'm hoping that it'll be tight enough that it'll just stay tight to my leg. This is a bit of an experiment because I've never knit DK weight socks before. I've knit sport weight socks once, but I've never knit with DK weight merino, so we'll just see how this goes, and I'm looking forward to it. If worst comes to worst, they'll just be bed socks or like chilling around the house socks, and I'm okay with that. So this is my little quick sock project. This beautiful party ring stitch marker is from Chapel View Crafts, and this adorable little floral stitch marker is by Songbead? Oh, I can't remember. The person is called Rebecca. She is Yarn Song on Instagram, but I can't remember her business name, so I will put that on the screen. But she made this gorgeous little stitch marker. And this is living in my sock bag that I use for my monthly socks every month, which is my A Joy to Stitch project bag. And just a quick reminder for you that the discount code for this bag and for the yellow version is still live until the end of August. If you use the code AJoyWithJo, you'll get 25% off your project bag. The project bag is a pop top, so you roll, let's see if I can show you. You roll down the top like this and then close it with a popper to keep your project safe in there. It is a boxed bottom, beautiful bag. Inside, let me see if I can show you, has, I don't know how to show this, 2 slip pockets in there and a little bit that comes with some stitch markers for you to keep. And then each project bag also comes with this beautiful yarn cake holder, which I keep my cakes in to keep them all nice and together. So that is my project bag. I, again, really recommend these bags. I wouldn't be recommending these if I didn't love them, so I really hope you make use of the discount code if you can. So again, that's A Joy with Jo, and it's 25% off until the end of August. But that is my socks. Oh, itchy nose. And then I've got one more knit WIP, and I've got one crochet WIP. Oh! I didn't talk about this. I don't know if you can see this off to the side here, but this is my fall into autumn blanket that I made last year. It was just waiting on the border, the crochet border, and I finally did it. Have I woven in the ends? No. Did I have a conversation with Angus about how I'm not going to weave in the ends? I sure did, and I will stand by that. I'm not weaving in the ends to this because there's too many. So I've knotted the ones that I was worried about coming off, and other than that I've crocheted the wee border and we're leaving it at that. Oh, postman. Doesn't look like anything important. But yeah, so I forgot about that. Anyway, that was a segue. Okay, final knitted WIP, and this is a biggie. This one is living in my mood bag, which I got at the Scottish Yarn Festival a couple of years ago. This is the bucket bag, and it was sitting in my craft room unused, and that's offensive considering how much it cost me. So we've brought it back out, and it is housing my porcelain sweater, which I didn't even have, right, in the last episode, which again was 2 or 3 weeks ago, didn't even have this cast on. I had a big conversation with you at the end of the last episode about future projects and what I wanted to work on, and I told you my big list of things. Did I cast on anything on that list? No, I did not. Did I cast on the porcelain sweater because I'd mentioned it? Yes, I sure did. So I have cast on the porcelain sweater, and I'm working on the neckline just now, so it's in an alright place to show you, but this is her. Look at this and tell me it is not stunning. So like I said, wasn't cast on a couple weeks ago, and I have been working on it like a champion. But it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't, like, I've not been working monogamously because I've made progress on all my other WIPs, but this one I've just been really, really loving. I'm in my colour work zone at the moment, and I just love it. Oh, I just love this so much. So this is where we're at. We've done 2 of the charts, and there's 1 more to do on the body. For anyone that doesn't know this pattern, it is a drop shoulder colour work oversized jumper. Do I have a picture of it? I printed out the pattern, which I also never do, so I maybe have a picture of it. Come on, my man. Yeah. I don't think that gives anything away. So that's what it looks like. And yeah, mine is in a grey colour and then this bright blue. Move that out of the way. So this is what we have. Firstly, let's talk about these because these are super cute. I've got little Xbox controller needle stoppers on here. Only put these on last night, and it's because I usually knit on this when Angus is on his Xbox in the evening, and I just thought they were super cute. I can't remember where I got these from, but I love them. And I think that's all that's on here. I'm knitting this on a 4mm needle, but I'm going up to a 4.5 for my colour work. I was a stitch off on my gauge in my colour work section, and I asked on Instagram, do I just leave it or do I go up a needle size? And 60% of people, or more than that, 70% of people said to go up a needle size. So I'm knitting the colour work on a 4.5mm needle, and I think it's working out well. I think any discrepancy will block out, but there's nothing, like when I hold it up, oh, it's attached to me. When I hold it up, there's not too much bobbling or anything between the 2 bands, so pretty happy with that. And let's talk about yarn. So the first thing I'll talk about is the grey yarn. They're all in separate cakes, so it's a bit messy. The grey yarn I'm using is Kinross 4-ply in the colour Quartz. And am I on my second ball of this? I think I'm on my second skein of this. They're 50g skeins, and I think I'm on my second one. And I'm holding that with this. Now, I can't remember what this is. I got it in a D-stash from Ravelry. It is a cashmere blend, cashmere and silk blend, and it came from a mill in Italy. And I have tried to find more of this since because it is deliciously soft and it feels like it's going to be so cozy, but I can't find it anywhere. Can't find it on Etsy. I did find the place that the person originally bought it from, but they don't have this anymore. So then I was on all these Italian sites that are fully in Italian trying to decipher what they said to try and see if I could get some more of this, but I couldn't find any. So I've got 4 skeins of it. I've only just cracked into the second one, literally last night, to do the neckband. So I'm going to have enough to do this project, but I really want some more of this because it's so soft. But anyway, that's that. And for the blue, I am using Dystopic Fibre, and I think it's sock. Yeah, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's just their fingering weight, and it's in Cobalt Crust. It was their mushroom collection, but it looks like this. It's absolutely stunning. And I'm holding that with Filicolana Tilia, which is mohair. And I don't tend to use mohair because I find it itchy, but Tilia, for some reason, I can work with. Tilia is the softest mohair I have found, and it doesn't irritate me half as much as anything else. I have never used Isager mohair, and I have heard that's just as soft, but Tilia is the one I've got so far, and it's just in the cobalt colour, and it was as close as I could get to this colourway. And I think they're blending really nice together. The two colours are working really well together. I was worried the fluff was going to like make the colour work not as striking or as obvious, but I definitely don't think that's the case. You can definitely see it, and it's just got a bit of blue and a bit of grey fluff around it. So this is my porcelain sweater. I am loving it. I never pick up and knit the neckline. Like I'm a stickler for the rules, so I always do the body, then the sleeves, then the neck. But something was taking my fancy on doing the neckband last night, so I've actually picked up to do the neckband, and that's what I'm working on just now. So that's why all this yarn is all tangled up. And I'm going to continue to work the neckband until that's done, and then add the next skein of fluff to the body and finish the body off. But yeah, this is my absolutely stunning porcelain sweater. I have obviously loved it as it's grown from a little figment of my imagination to what it is now, but I'm really enjoying it. Something about the colour work is really Moorish. Like I'm in my colour work era, as everyone is saying. Colour work is in season, and I'm definitely falling for that bug. So I've been really enjoying it, and it's been living in this beautiful box next to my sofa because I'm obsessed with it. So that is my last knitting WIP. And then I have one crochet WIP to show you, which is actually on a blocking mat because I put it on a blocking mat last night, just to see if I could get it to stretch a little bit and keep its lovely square shape. So let me just shove these pins in so I can hold it up to show you. So I just said I finished this blanket, and the reason I hadn't been casting on another crochet blanket is because this one wasn't finished and it was looming over me. And now that this one is done and we've been using it, I am back on the crochet blanket kick. I also previously had I was crocheting loads before I was really knitting garments, and that means I have a very large stash of Stylecraft DK, which is just like 100% acrylic yarn, which I would never use to knit a garment, but I think it's really good for blankets. Like this blanket I really like, keeps us cozy, it's easy to wash, so I'm a big fan of this. And I don't want to waste the yarn that I have, so I've decided I'm just going to make blankets out of it, and they'll be long-term projects. I knit this one, or crocheted this one, sorry, because I'd crocheted a Christmas version very similar to this the year before and gave it to my granny. And then my granny passed away, and now that blanket is with my mum. And my mum tells me almost every time I go to her house how much she loves that crochet blanket, and I think it's because she's trying to tell me that she doesn't want me to take it back. But it's definitely a Christmas blanket. It's got snowflakes on it, it's got Christmas trees on it, but she has it out all year round on the back of her sofa. So I had this idea that it might be nice to crochet my mum a blanket. Now I've not told her this because there is a part of me that thinks I might end up wanting to keep this blanket, and I'm gonna leave that up to the gods. If I want to give it to my mum, I'll give it to my mum. If I want to keep it because I've put a lot of time and effort into it, I'll keep it. And she can keep a loan of my Christmas blanket until the time where I replace hers. But this is my little blanket, little baby blanket. I literally, the first day I was inspired to do this, I got into this pink row here, and then it sat for about a week and a half, and then literally last night I picked up and did these next rows. So I've only worked on it two sessions of working on it, but it works up really quickly. But I know that now, like from now on, the rows are going to be massive, and therefore it's going to start to take me a long time. This is a design by Attic24, I think is what it's called, and this is the Yuletide blanket. I think originally that pattern maybe came with a yarn kit, but it uses Stylecraft DK, so I've got a mixture of Stylecraft DK and Paintbox DK, both in the 100% acrylic, and I was not buying more of that to make this. So I have sort of looked at the colour palette that she used, looked at my own stash, and then matched up the closest things that I have, because she actually has a colour guide for the Yuletide blanket. So I'm working through that colour guide, but with the yarns that I have, and then when I run out of one colour, I'll just change it and add a different colour in. So this is, at first I thought, oh gosh, what have I done? But as it grows, I really like the way it's looking, the colours that are put together. Like, there's a reason this person obviously put together, I think their name's Lucy, put together this colour palette. And like, yeah, it's a bit random, but I really like it. And I think it's going to be a really cool blanket. So this is my Attic24 Yuletide blanket, knit in Stylecraft DK or Paintbox DK, the 100% acrylic. And I'm trying to weave in my ends as I go. Obviously I didn't weave in last night's ends, so I need to go around and do that, but I have woven in these ends, and I need to go around and weave in the rest, because lessons learned from this blanket, if I don't do it at the time, I will not do it when it's done. So this one's just going to have a lovely fringe effect, but this one I am going to weave them in as I go, because really it doesn't take very long. But I tried to do it on that one, and I did 5 of them and was like, this is going to take me forever, so I gave up. So yeah, this is my newest crochet project. It's going to be a long-term project. I'm not going to rush through it. I'm just going to pick it up as and when. I do have another crochet blanket, which I actually inherited from a lady at Knit Night. She didn't really like it after she'd started it. And this was before I even had this house, and we've been here a year. So it's half done and it also needs worked on. So my thoughts are that I could work on that, and if I can then decide if I want to gift my mum this one or the other one, or cast her on a new one. My mum can also crochet, so I maybe will just teach her how to crochet her own one, and give her some of my yarn, but we're not there yet. So this is my crochet blanket in its little baby form, and I'll give you updates. Probably not regularly on that one because it's just going to grow and grow, but if I make a lot of progress, I'll update you on it. And that is all of my WIPs. And we do have a little bit of acquisitions to show you. So I am going to show you the one that comes every month, the club, and then I'll show you my sporadic one. So this is my homespun house. Oh, I can't reach it. Oh, come here. This is my homespun house yarn, which I have mentioned before. I'm getting the Happy Birthday Hogwarts Club, which is inspired by Harry Potter characters. I'm a Harry Potter fan. I don't know if you can see, we've got the Harry Potter books and films over there. I'm a big Harry Potter person, and I'm a yarn person, and I love homespun house, so it all just made sense. In this bag is the Albus Dumbledore and the Ginny Weasley colourways. If you have not received these, please skip ahead a couple of minutes because I will be talking about them, and I don't want to give you any spoilers, so please skip ahead a minute or a minute and a half, because I will be showing these off now. Thank you. Okay. I think these are some of my favourite colours that have come out of this club yet. When I opened them, I was just like gobsmacked at how beautiful they are. So I think in order, I think Albus came first. I am grouping like 2 of mine together every time because it saves me shipping from Germany. So for example, I just ordered the Hermione and the Molly, but I won't get them until October. So some people will get them much quicker than me, but I don't because I group them together to try and save on the shipping costs. So this is the Albus Dumbledore colorway and it's amazing. This brilliant, like vibrant chocolate frog purple color mini, and then yeah, this absolutely stunning pink speckled yarn. It's got a bunch of different types of pink in it, and then the purple, the bright purples, and yeah, love, 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 love. I get the sock set and it's on their soft sock base, which is like nothing I've ever felt. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Love, 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 love. Don't have any more words. And then we've got Ginny. This is giving, like, this mini is very much Ginny, it's bright orange. But this is, like, kind of looks like some of the other ones that we've had before. And I think that's because they're the other Weasleys. And I love that they're making them all kind of look similar. So this is the Ginny Weasley colorway, again on the soft sock base. And I just love it. It's, like, the soft pinks, the coral, the teal, big fan. I love the way it's looking and I can't wait to cast this on, if I'm honest. It's just stunning. So I was blown away when I received them earlier this month and I can't wait to knit on them. I am not knitting the Harry Potter Club because I want to take a picture of them all together, which I know is insane. And I think I might be getting to the point where I'm like, you can't do that anymore, Jo, you need to cast them on, because I have so many now and I love them. I love, 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 love them. And I want to make sure that I maximise them, so I'm like, do I make a pair of socks in each and then use the leftovers to make a blanket or something, or a pillow? Haven't decided. So if you have any ideas about what I could do with like all of my Harry Potter colourways, let me know. But I'm definitely going to make socks out of them first and then use the leftovers for something else. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And that was my expected one. My other one was not expected, and this is also a project. So I was introduced to the Lilyhammer pullover, which is a pattern that I am testing. And my friend Rebecca posted this on her story. I saw it. I was actually out with my partner at the time. We were doing some shopping. I saw it, loved it, applied for the test knit instantly. I've actually applied for the test knit one size bigger than I would usually apply for, so it's going to be very oversized, but I wanted to do it. I knew I needed to do it. So I've applied to test the Lilyhammer pullover. I'll put a picture up somewhere to show you what it looks like. And I obviously had to buy yarn for it. My stash is predominantly sock yarn and sock sets. I don't really have that big a stash when it comes to sweater quantities. My porcelain sweater was in there, and I did have one other sweater quantity, but the gauge wouldn't have worked out, so I had to buy yarn. And recently, although I've mentioned drops like 3 times in this episode, recently I've not really been knitting with drops yarn, and so I've not received like a big drops order in a while. So when this massive bag arrived at my door, I remembered what it was like to receive drops yarn. Because drops yarn is mostly in 50 gram skeins, you have to buy a lot of them. Like I'm usually a size 3 in patterns, but this time I'm knitting a size 4, and I had to buy 14 balls of one of the colours. And like just the volume in that is massive. So yeah, I received this. This also had yarn for my mum in it, so it was even bigger than this. But the colours and yarn I have chosen for my Lilyhammer pullover are a little bit out there. I have chosen to try Drops Daisy because I've previously used Double Sunday by Sandnes Garn and really enjoyed it, and I've just decided it's gonna pill and I'll just deal with the pilling because of the softness. So this is Drops Daisy in the colour 23, and I am pairing it with the colour 16, which is called Lemonade. So this orange is going to be my main colour and the yellow is going to be the contrast. I can't wait. I think it's going to look amazing. I love bright colours, and I just really loved like the bright colour vibe on like a more traditional jumper. So I just think this is going to be amazing. I need to cast it on because the test has started and I've been working on a bunch of other things. So I kind of wanted to get my porcelain to the point where I had joined in the round, and then I just got carried away and did the next colour work chart. So really I need to cast this on, but classic, this is also on the same needle size as all of my other projects. So I either need to bite the bullet and just buy another set of needles, or I need to get over it and just realise I can only knit with one size of needles, so changing the needles is just what I'm going to have to do. Something has just happened to the lighting and I don't know if it's dramatically changed, but this is the colours that I have gone for. So that will be in the next episode a Lilyhammer pullover, and I can't wait. And while I was ordering from Drops, I thought, well, save on the shipping. I ordered something for my mum as well, a sweater quantity that she was looking for, and I ordered something else. I have been watching Two Pearls in a Pod religiously. Two Pearls in a Pod is Sarah and Paige. They are Australian, based in Melbourne, and they have a podcast. I would fully recommend you watching it. I found it, the last episode I found it, and I have then since watched every episode they've put out, and I think I've got like 4 or something to catch up, and I'm actually having to tell myself not to watch them because I don't want to be caught up and have not be able to just watch them whenever I want to. But Sarah, in a lot of the episodes I was catching up with, was doing some fun things with felting, and she was making felted slipovers and felted slippers for all of her family members, and I just loved that idea, the idea of felting. And so I started thinking about what I could make for family members, and I'm not sure my family members would wear felted slippers because they're they have slippers that they wear all the time, and so I found the petite knit stocking, felted stocking pattern, and I thought that would be the perfect Christmas gift for my parents. My mum and dad love Christmas, my mum much more so than my dad, and I thought she would really appreciate some handmade, a handmade stocking for her and dad. So while I was ordering, I decided to order some yarn to make that for them. So Sarah uses the actual is it Sandnes garn? Sandnes garn, Frittis garn, which she used, but I had a look online and I saw that it's very similar to Drops Alaska and you can substitute that. I also had a look at other people's projects on Ravelry on the stocking, and some people have used Drops Alaska, so that's what I decided to go for because it was £1 something a ball. So I got these 2 colours. The green is 74 and the red is 11. It is 100% wool is all it says. I would never make a jumper out of this because it would be far too itchy for me, but for a felted accessory, house accessory, I'm pretty pleased. So I ended up having to buy quite a few of each colour to make the big stocking, because obviously when you felt, you have to make something massive and then put it in the washing machine and it shrinks. So I did have to buy quite a few of these, but like I said, I think they were £1 something a ball, so I didn't mind picking them up just now. And I'm going to try and work on them over the next wee while so that they're done in plenty of time. So my mum decorates on the 1st of December, so I would love to be able to take these down to her then. But that is my final acquisition, which was just because I was already ordering. So it's been quite acquisition heavy this month actually. I mean, it's a sweaters quantity and then a projects quantity and then a yarn club, so not too crazy, not over the top, but more than I've had the last couple of episodes. But I'm really looking forward to everything I'm working on. I have got so many things still on the to knit list on my whiteboard in my craft room, but I know I need to cast on this test knit now, and I'm working on some really cool projects just now, so I'm really excited about what's going on. I've had a lot of knitting mojo recently, and yeah, I just can't wait to keep working on all of these and hopefully show you some cool finished objects in the next wee while. I think that's everything that I've got to say today. I don't think I've got anything else going on or to update you on. Just a reminder, if you want to use the discount code for A Joy to Stitch, it's A Joy with Jo, and you get 25% off those project bags, and I again 100% would recommend them. Other than that, yeah, nothing too much going on. I've been on holiday this last week. I have got to go back to work, which is super busy, or will be super busy, and yeah, I'm all ready for another holiday, and I'm only just back. I'm ready for October. I'm ready for autumn, hence the cauldron. I'm ready to wrap up in warm jumpers, get some of my woolly jumpers back out. Can't wait to wear my Eurus sweater again. And hopefully some of these finished objects are going to keep me warm over the next wee while. So I hope you have had some fun crafting time. I hope you're also enjoying where you are now, but also looking forward to autumn and thinking about some jumper knitting. I will be back very soon, hopefully with some updates. And yeah, I don't think I've got anything else. So thank you so much for joining me. If you want to like and subscribe to this, it would be amazing to have you. I'm very close to 500 subscribers, which is amazing. Can't believe 500 people consider watching my videos. So thank you so much to anyone that is subscribed. But it would be great to hear from you if you want to leave a comment down below. And if you've made it this far, let me know what you were working on throughout this video. I will catch up with you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.